What's up, everybody? I'm back. I have to say thank you very, very much because in the past few months that I've been away, I have received so much love and care and respect. And it's been a while since I've posted anything because I've been hunkering down and I've been in the lab and I've been working really hard, and I did a play as well out here. My man Malcolm Barrett, shout out Malcolm Barrett, verbal. I did his debut play as an understudy, and it was great, and it was fun, and he's a really, I don't know if you guys are following Malcolm Barrett, but he's pretty great. He was on Timeless and a bunch of other stuff. That dude is just a phenomenal guy. So I was there, I was doing that, and then, me and Frank have been going back and forth for months now, and I have to say, I have a legit first draft, like a legit first draft. And it took a long time, and it was very emotional. It is a work in progress, and hopefully, and this is the wonderful thing about a first draft, like you get to keep working on it and working on it and working on it. Even when, it becomes a show and it's on stage, you still keep working on it. I had the pleasure of going to see Mike Birbiglia's show on Broadway with Frank and talking to him. And Birbiglia said he had been working that show for 2 years on stage. I know a lot of times people can be like, oh my God, the same show for 2 years. That excites me. And that's one of the reasons why I know that this is for me, because the idea of being on stage every day, 8 shows a week, and working on something and it getting better every time you do it really excites me. I can't wait for that, and hopefully that will be sometime soon. But what's been happening since I was gone? I was thinking about that a lot, why it's been such a long time since I posted anything, and it's because I was busy writing stuff and I was busy, working on this play, but also, I think a lot of times we get into the mindset of we have to always be posting in order to keep people interested. And I want to just do stuff that I find to be quality. I want to say things when I feel like I need to say things, and when I can be sophisticated enough to articulate my thoughts and opinions in a way that is good for me. I really think it is about quality and not quantity. And I believe we all get bored and we get fatigued with all the stuff coming at us all day. Like, I get an email every day from Netflix, like, you might like this. And, they might be right, I might like it, but like, oof, it's exhausting. So, I don't want to exhaust you. I want everyone to feel as if what I'm putting out is something interesting and quality. And and at least I want to feel like that as well. Like, I want to feel like I'm putting stuff out that I find valuable. That's why I've been away. I don't want to put anything out there just to get you. I want you to be engaged. So yeah, quality versus quantity. So since then, I went to Celebration in Chicago. I was very nervous about going to Celebration. I really was, because as much goodwill as there is out there, there still is ill will. When you write a show like I'm writing, you're very open, very vulnerable to all of that. And I was pleasantly turned around in that idea. The amount of love and respect and reverence for Jar Jar and my performance as Jar Jar in Star Wars was just wonderful. And I got to see people who I hadn't seen in a very long time, people who I really cared about, who I lost touch with. My great friend Hugh Quashie, Ian McDermott, it was phenomenal sitting and hanging with him. We had such a blast. Peter Mayhew, who passed away very shortly after I saw him. And, Peter was a gentle soul, and he was a wonderful person. And I was thankful that I had the opportunity to give him a big hug and say goodbye, even though I didn't know his health situation at the time. So I just made it a point to just give him a big hug, tell him it was great to see him. And that was the last time I saw him, and he passed away. So much love to Peter and his children and his wife and his family, because what a heart that man had. He had such a heart. And I have a very funny Peter Mayhew story that I'll save for another time. But back to Celebration. Being around Anthony Daniels, I saw Ray Park, I saw Hayden Christensen, and you know, it's kind of like a weird high school reunion. Everyone has gone on to do so many things, and you know, it was 20 years since The Phantom Menace, and we've all grown. We've all gotten a little grayer, and all have children. Some of us have grandchildren, not me. I just have a child. But it was really good to see everybody and reconnect with everybody, and really share that passion and share that love, and you know, meet all the new people who are in the Star Wars canon now. People from Solo and Rogue One, and you know, Last Jedi, Force Awakens, and then you know, the premiere of the trailer for Rise of Skywalker. There were a lot of people there who are in the new iteration of what Star Wars is now, and it was wonderful to see them and hear of their experiences, and see how that feels, and see what they're going through, watch their growth. I was nervous. I did not know how I was going to be received. And what I realized is all those children that Jar Jar really catered to, they're all grown up now. The prequels are their Star Wars, and that's what gets them into the universe. So they're very adamant about defending it, which I found to be interesting. You know, I never thought that would be the case. George did. George knew that was going to happen. He said to me that was going to happen, and he was right. But at the time, you know, and I talk about this in the One Man Show, at the time when George said that to me, like, I couldn't see that. I was just going through so much emotionally at the moment that I didn't want to know about the future. I wanted results. Now, the now that he was talking about back then is here, and it's really cool. You know, it's really cool. The fact that those prequels are their Star Wars, and that's what gets them into the universe, and then they show their kids, right, and they get their kids into the universe through Phantom Menace. And I felt like there was a bit of a renaissance for Jar Jar, because there was now time has passed, and we can reflect back on the work and not so much the controversy of the character. We can really just focus on the work. And, you know, I was talking to John Knoll and Doug Chang when I was there, and we all reconnected. I hadn't seen them in a while. We started talking about how much fun we had making this thing, like making Jar Jar, and having no idea what was going to happen, but just really living on this edge of innovation, like filmmaking and innovation. It felt like startup culture, you know what I'm saying? It felt like how everybody feels when they're working on an app or when they're working on a new piece of software. It was this startup culture, this idea of iterate, innovate, fail, learn, iterate, innovate, fail, learn. And it was this cycle that we all were in, and it was a little bit of a bubble. You know, it was a bubble because we were so excited about creating this thing. And that bubble was burst when the movie came out, and it was a shame. Because of the backlash, I feel as if the innovation part of what we did disappeared. It wasn't really talked about as much as it should have been, because it changed movies. If you think about Phantom Menace, everything in maybe the past 100+ years that has ever been in movies is in that movie, shot on 35mm. So all the film techniques that you do in a movie were there. Special effects, practical effects, there. Visual effects, there. CGI main characters, there. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the things that everyone uses in movies these days, they were all in that movie. Just the gravity of that, the thought process and the gravity of that was something that we all reflected on at Celebration. And when we reflected on it, it was a good moment for us to go, you know what? We did the work, and the work was good. We did good work. We did good work, man. We did good work. And that's all I ever wanted to do. All I ever want to do in anything is my best. Our best. We lost sight of that because of all the criticism. And that's a shame. But it's coming back now, and I think we all realize it. It's coming back now, and we all realize that the respect for the work that we did in Phantom Menace is coming to the forefront. Now I'm in the headspace where I just want to celebrate people and what they're doing, and I want to support, especially, people who are artists, who are trying something. Growing up in New York City, there were a lot of people doing their own thing. And everybody in New York is extremely opinionated, especially in my family, right? Everybody has opinions. Everybody has very strong opinions in my family. There's this thing in New York when I was coming up as a young artist in New York. There was this thing where people would be like, yeah, what you did wasn't good, but there's something in there. There's something. You got a little something in there that I saw. Keep going on that. Keep going. Like, this was bad, but your next thing is going to be good just because of this kernel, because of this little microscopic piece I see. Keep going. Keep going with that, right? Find that little thing, that's a good thing. Find that little thing and go on the path of that thing. So I'm going to celebrate people. And I'm going to take that energy from celebration and I'm going to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to celebrate folks. So, when you do see me on the socials, when I do post something, it's going to be about celebration. It's going to be about celebrating people. With the one-man show, it's going to be the same thing. My motivation is to connect. And that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to connect. So I'm looking forward to being on stage. I'm looking forward to connecting with you. I'm looking forward to celebrating us. I'm going to keep it 100. I wanted out of Star Wars. I did. I wanted out because it was just too hard. I don't want to be out anymore. Still a little bit apprehensive about being all the way in, but I'm coming back. I'm going to put my crazy aside and I'm going to come out there. I'm going to get out of my comfort zone and connect with y'all. That's what I want to do. I want to connect with you. And I want to learn, and I want to talk, and I want to play. So yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it. And thank you for your support. And I'm back. Let's connect.